Hello, everyone, and welcome to GrapTALKular, where I kind of share my thoughts on a particular subject in hopes of starting a dialogue so that other people can share their thoughts on it too. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, the new DLC that just came out for Title Update 2. The one that's been getting a lot of attention, mostly negative, I think, is the Lost Code Layered Weapon DLC. Now, there's a lot of paid DLC already for this game, in addition to the free DLC that you get, like the extra missions that you can win, things like stickers and poses and other layered armor. But this time, we're talking about the layered weapon skins that people weren't too happy about because they're saying it's a slippery slope, saying that now they're gonna have if they're gonna have paid DLC for weapon skins, then they're gonna have paid DLC for weapons, and if it just so happens that those weapons tend to be the best weapons in the game, then everybody is gonna be behind a paywall in order to get the best stats or the best abilities. Or being able to get the best monster hunting times. Now it is running for $14, and it's layered weapon skins for all the weapons in the game. And if you would have bought them separately, they would run to $2.50 each. And I usually at the bottom of yeah, there you go. Total of purchase individually $34.86. So $35, or you if you bought them separately, or you can get them all for $14. So let's actually take a quick look at what these weapons look like. Now, I haven't purchased the DLC, so I don't have any video content to show, but I can just take a look at the pictures that they have in the eShop. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what they got. Okay, so that one is the Great Sword weapon. And then this one is the Long Sword. Okay, and this one is the Sword and Shield, which is my main weapon when I play the game. And these are the dual blades. Okay, next up is the lance. Okay, next up is the gun lance. Okay, see, that one looks kind of cool. Looks like a rail gun. There is the hammer. The hunting horn. Next up is the switch axe. Okay, now we have the charge blade. If I can get it to open. The insect glaive. Now that one should be interesting because the bug has got to be like robotic or something. The light bowgun, which is the second weapon that I use on occasion. Okay, the heavy bowgun. Now I like the heavy bowgun better than the light bowgun in this case. Okay, and the bow. Okay, the bow looks pretty cool too. Okay, so that's the Lost Code layered weapon set. Now, do I think that people should get it? Now, that's going to be really up to the individual person. I think with any things like layered skins, there's some people that are just going to be like, no, I'll never pay for cosmetics. And, but sometimes you're going to run into something that you really kind of like. I remember reading something. I want to say it was on Reddit, where someone was upset with multiverses because I think they bought the Taz skin with I think he was wearing like a beach shorts and like a straw hat, and I think it had the straw hat like had like a certain colored ribbon, and I think that was supposed to be like the straw hat pirates of a One Piece. But then when they went from the beta to the I don't know what they're calling it now, the open beta, from the closed beta to the open beta, they changed the color of the straw hat from red to yellow, and that guy was kind of upset because he's like, hey, I bought this just because I wanted it to look like a certain character from somewhere, and now that you guys changed the color on me, I don't want this anymore. I want my money back. And I doubt they did give it back to him, but I understand the frustration. I mean, you bought it for a specific reason and then they change it on you. That's kind of messed up. They should at least let him keep the color or had multiple color options. So that's the deal with cosmetics, is that if there's a certain color scheme you want, then if it's no one's holding you at gunpoint to buy these things. So as long as you're okay with us spending a little bit of dispensable cash, then go for it. I mean, the whole set is $13-14. And if you just only play one or two weapons, then you're only spending 250 for each one. So uh, I think that if you want to buy just one or two skins and then wait for the whole set to go on sale, you'll still come out on top. You buy one for 250, and then let's say it goes on sale for half off, then you're paying $7. Um, Not even $10 for the whole set if you wait for it to go on sale. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's your choice. Me personally, I do like the color scheme. I do like the black and the blue, um, with the gold and the white. Usually when I have characters in games that let you change the color schemes, um, those are actually the colors I go for. I did it in Destiny, where I try to have the shaders with my character, with that scheme, the white, blue, black, and gold. And if you've seen some of my older videos on the channel, where I'm playing Fantasy Star Online, my character, I did the same thing. He's dressed in white, with a little bit of blue black, and a tiny bit of yellow on there as well. So that's the color scheme that I actually go for if I can for my character. So the fact that the Lost Code DLC, those are the exact colors that I like. So then more than likely I'm gonna get it. Now I definitely understand the concerns that people have. Uh, in the past, I have had some games ruined for me because of paid DLC. When the PS4 first came out, I did dip my hands into Assassin's Creed. I purchased Assassin's Creed Unity, and it was the first one I'd ever played. And while I was starting to like the game, the presence of microtransactions really put a sour note on the whole experience. It was just, they kept reminding me of it, and there were all these different currencies, and I couldn't really keep track of things that I could earn on my own through playing the game versus stuff that I had to buy, even though technically the microtransactions weren't required, but it's just they were all over the place. It was very hard to ignore. So unfortunately, that kind of ruined the series as a whole for me, and that's too bad because I really heard good things about Assassin's Creed 2, about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the Pirates one, but it's just I just never really got back to it. I played it for a few hours and that was it. Another game that I feel was kind of ruined by microtransactions was Destiny. Now, I really liked Destiny 1. I played it a lot. It was when I first got the PS4, I got the white special edition Destiny console. And so I played it quite a bit, especially at the beginning, those first few years. I got some of the t-shirts that you can get for doing all the accomplishments for year one and year two, or maybe it was year two and year three. I'm not sure, but I know I earned and did purchase two of those shirts. And one of the things that they started to do was they introduced the Eververse. So the Eververse, they really went into it with things like shaders, to color the to make change the way your character looks, skins for exotic weapons so that they look different from their standard colors, um, poses and dances, um, limited sparrows, the kind of like the little hover bikes that you have in the game. And that's where I ran into I kind of got into an issue with the Eververse. I was fine with it. I just completely ignored it. I didn't have to spend any money. I bought the game. I'm fine. But when they introduced the Sparrow Racing League, um, you could earn one of the sparrows that you could buy. It was like an unlock after you beat certain achievements. Um, you can unlock one of the limited sparrows that you could buy in the Eververse. Um, and they had like, I think I want to say it was like five different ones. There was like a ugly orange and yellow one, like a pink and black one. And the ones I really liked were the ones based on the three elements in the game. There was a one with blue lightning, which was the arc element, the purple void element, and the red solar element, the fire in the game. And so um, I had three characters in the game, and each one I kind of styled in. Kind of, one guy was all blue. I had a robot who was all purple, and then I had a warlock who was all um, red, reds and pinks, just to kind of go with the different elements. That was what I was doing with the game, and to justify playing three different characters, one of each class. So I really wanted one of, at least hoping that I could earn for free one of those elemental sparrows. So at least I have, my character looks cool, and then I have a really good matching elemental sparrow to go with them. And it was completely cosmetic. It wouldn't have affected the game in any way whatsoever, but I still wanted it. So I go through the Sparrow Racing League, and I earn my free Sparrow. And when I roll the dice, I end up getting the ugly orange one. And I was so disappointed. I said, "Oh, what are the chances?" I would have been okay even with the pink and black one, but they gave me the one I wanted the least, which, mm, doing a callback to Monster Hunter, that's that desire sensor where the game kind of knows what you want, and it makes sure never to give it to you. So that was my fault for wanting something. I should have just let things be, and whatever happens, happens. So I was disappointed, and at the time, I want to say that the sparrows, um, I could have bought it for like $5 to buy one of those sparrows, just outright buy it with the Eververse money. And you know what? I did. I just said, you know what? Screw it. It's $5. I've bought worse for more, so why not? So I just bought it, and I was happy. I got my Arc Sparrow, and I put it on my Arc Titan, and I was running around with the Lightning Bolt motorcycle, and I was happy. So it's not for everyone, but you know what? I had $5 to spare. It was fine. I would have just spent it at McDonald's or something. So it was fine, and I was happy, and that's the end of it. Now, Destiny did kind of go, especially with Destiny 2, they did go way into that whole microtransaction stuff. They added, when the game went free to play, they did like the whole season passes and all these seasons. And I didn't like the way they do the seasons now, where exotic weapons are locked behind the battle pass for that, because now it especially with some of those weapons, they are kind of meta for that season because they're so good at what they do, or they've got if you've got a group of people that how have that weapon, they have good synergy with each other. I remember there was a specific a bow where I think it had like a homing attack or something, and if other people had the bow, you could ignite. One person could ignite enemies, and while they're ignited, if another person hits them, it does like super damage and they die right away or something, or everyone gets a stat boost or something. So it actually was kind of, they were making you really want to get those exotic weapons that were part of the paid passes, and I didn't really like that. I know they've got a lot more shaders and poses and stuff like that, and I mean that's fine, but I think they should have kept it at that. And so that kind of did ruin Destiny 2 a little bit for me when they went that route. Another game series that I wasn't too happy about when they started doing paid DLC was the um, games like the Lego Star Wars series or the Lego Marvel series. I remember playing the original Lego Star Wars, and I remember you being able to unlock dozens of characters within the game itself, and there was not a paid DLC anywhere in sight. And now it seems like if they advertise, oh, we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy pack or whatever, and so while I don't really play those games so much anymore, anyways, I am disappointed that they kind of started going that route with the DLC for content that really should have been in there from the beginning, especially if you're comparing it to the older games where they had all that stuff just unlockable from playing the game. And full disclosure, I actually did buy the Sword and Shield skin, just because, like I said, Sword and Shield is the one that I use mainly, and I like the colors. It goes with the outfit that I got from the when I went to the new Sunbreak DLC. So it all works out for me. And if you like the colors, go for it. If you don't, there's no reason why you shouldn't get it. Now, going back to the original concern that a lot of people have about, oh, they're gonna start making weapons that are meta behind a paywall. And the only thing I have to say to that is that remember that Monster Hunter is a cooperative game. There's no PvP element whatsoever. It's not like, besides bragging rights for having the fastest hunt times, there's no competitive aspect to the game. You guys are all working together. If you're working with anybody else, it's working together. So I really don't think it's at the end of the world if they do that. I don't think they will, just because I feel that Capcom with the Monster Hunter games and DLC in general have been pretty generous for the most part. The DLCs in the past have been really good for the DS games and 3DS games. I never played any of the PlayStation Vita games, but I know that those were well received as well. World did have some. I know that they did have a lot of content for World, but a lot of that was licensed. And I know towards the end, I think it was last year, where they were telling people that, hey, you better do these missions, otherwise some of this DLC is no longer going to be available to earn. So even though it was free, it was limited. So they've kind of experimented with a couple different things. So I don't think that they're going to go all out and have like a battle pass or something ridiculous like that. I have faith that they're going to stay true to what they've done before in the past, and they're not going to really screw anyone over. And I mean, there's people on PC who have their own mods and stuff anyway. So if you really want that stuff, you're probably going to do it on PC anyways. So there's that. So that's really all I have to say about this topic on GrapTALKular. So if anyone's listening that made it all the way to the end, please let me know what you think. Do you agree with me that the DLC is fine for people that have the money to spend it and they really like the design? And you can take it or leave it, basically. And if for those, or do you think that you should not support it in any way, shape, or form whatsoever? Um, just because you don't want Capcom to think, hey, we can really milk this and start making a lot more stuff like this. I think if they have some more cool designs, I might buy a weapon or two. I mean, at $2. I mean, what can you buy for $2 or $3 these days, anyways? So, yeah, like I said, let me know what you think. And if not, thank you so much for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.